My journey as a preemie mom, part 3. Hey guys, it definitely has been a very, very long time since I've been on here. Today is actually August 15th, 2015, and I believe the last time that I spoke about this was sometime last year. So here it goes. Shortly after, I think, the last video that I did, I was basically following up how my water broke at 24 weeks, and I actually was in the hospital for a week, and everything was going good. The hospital staff did very, very well, took very good care of me. However, the very last day, I took some medicine, and it didn't tolerate it well at all. And so I began to profusely vomit over and over and over again. Hence, started my contractions. Hence, put me into labor. Hence, I had my son. So I ended up having my son. And he was doing very, very well. Over the course of time that I was there, and for that week prior to that, I had already been speaking with the different neonatologists. Woo. And they were all giving me the outcomes of different things that I should expect, to include how he would look, his condition, potential factors, potential things that could and couldn't go wrong. So I was already prepared for that. My baby boy was born on December 31st, 2013, and he weighed 1 pound, 9 ounces, and he was actually 20 inches. No, he wasn't 20 inches long. I forgot how many inches long. I'm sorry. No. However, everything that was going great. And my son was actually in NICU. And for those who may not know what that stands for, that's the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. And he was doing very, very well. He actually only had to be intubated for, actually, no, my son was not intubated. I'm sorry. He did not have to be intubated. He was actually on room air. Room air with nasal cannula, and then he ended up having to go to a CPAP machine. But we was feeding him. He had a G tube, that's a gastrointestinal tube, where they went in through his nose to his stomach, and then sometimes they actually did it from his mouth to his stomach. And he was doing very, very well. He tolerated all of that very well, up until February 4th last year. February 4th was probably the worst day of my entire life. And that's when I got a phone call where his condition just took a toll for the worse. When I got there, my son was intubated. It was that morning. We had to end up transporting him to the local children's hospital. And at that time, one of the I can't speak this morning, neonatologist surgeons advised us that my son's condition, he developed a intestinal infection, which is known as necrotising enterocolitis. And if caught early, it can be treated with antibiotics. If it's caught too late, it's very fatal. When they looked at my son's intestines, his intestines was completely necrotic. And as a mother, being told that the night before, what are you guys going to do for Valentine's Day? You might want to start bringing in onesies, because we'll probably eventually be moving him to an open crib. And then all in 24 hours, you're told, I'm sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Stokes. Your son has no intestines left. They're completely necrotic. I'm sorry. Your son is not going to live. There's nothing more that we can do. My entire world shattered at that point. It's shattered. Hence why I have not been on here. Um, for those of you that have been following me for this long, you know I come from a positive place. I come from a place of wanting to share hope and wanting to share faith and wanting to share just positive energy and to let you know that things will be okay. Hence the reason why I did the very first video of my water broke at 24 weeks. I want to encourage everyone that just because your water breaks does not mean that you will lose your child. And I still stand by that. If your water breaks, go to the hospital. And your baby, the technology is so advanced. Different things happen. To this day, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I still do not know what happened and why it happened. But I'm here as a mother, as a preemie mom, to let you know that regardless of the situation, as preemie moms, we encounter different difficulties with our babies. And it's so hard. It's so strong. A lot of us do come out in the end and can tell our success stories. And tragically, some of us have the hardest thing to do, have one of the hardest things to do, and that's being an angel mom. And I am an angel mom because I had to do one of the hardest thing a parent had to do. I went from decorating my son's room to planning a funeral all in 1 week. Now, the place that I'm at right now, I want to channel that. I want to channel that and to take from that to do good. I know that's what my son would want me to do. I'm in the process of thinking about starting a nonprofit in his name. If you guys have any suggestions, leave it in the comments below for me. I'm definitely open for that. I definitely want to become one of the NEC ambassadors. I want to definitely eventually become an ambassador for infancy awareness, infancy death. I want to be a vessel, a leaning hand for other mothers that may not have a strong support system, whether it's by chatting or talking or anything. I just want to be there to help others to get through these hard times, whether it's sitting in the hospital and talking or whatever it may be. I want to do that. I'm not going to say that this road has not been hard. It's been very hard, and to this day it's very hard. Like I said, my son passed away last year in February, and what some people don't know is, including some of even my closest friends and some of my family, is a month later I ended up pregnant again. I did. And I really didn't even know how. I know how, but you're not thinking. You're going through a lot of sorrow. You're going through, you have this range of emotion in your head, of anger, of sad, of why, and just mad at the world, and you just don't understand. You're just going through the motions. And I found comfort in my husband, and it happened. But because of the total stress, I miscarried. By the time I found out I was pregnant, the following week I found out I was miscarrying. And that was a lot to process, because I was still processing, and I am still processing the grief of my son. But I am here to tell you guys, for those who have lost a child, whether it be via miscarriage, stillbirth, or you have lost your baby after you have given birth, there is life after that. I do want to say that thankfully, and I'm so happy and blessed that my husband and I unexpectedly ended up being pregnant again. We got pregnant last year, August, September, and I ended up having another preemie baby. Her name is Ariana. I call her Ari. Um, I had her 6 weeks early in April, and she was a definite sunshine that I needed. She definitely helped bring a smile back to me. And yes, it still hurts because I wish my son was here. He's supposed to be here. What I will say is that the 5 weeks that I had in this world with him was some of the best 5 weeks I've ever had. I wouldn't trade that for the world. I can honestly say that my son knew and knows that his mommy and daddy loves him. And now I have this new bundle of joy. My daughter, and actually she's sleeping, so that's why I'm kind of talking so loud, but I'm just going to give you guys a sneak peek. She's knocked out right now. She's 3 months old. She's actually started teething. Let me see if you can see her. Can you guys see her? She's in her bassinet, sound asleep. But yes, guys, that's my baby. And this is not the end. I am going to continue sharing my journey as a preemie mom and continue sharing words of encouragement, because I want to share words of encouragement and let you know that wherever you are at this very moment, it may not seem like it, but I promise you it does get better. It does. I'm going to end on this note. And like I said, this is not the end of my story as my journey as a preemie mom. And again, this is Alicia. And stay tuned. And until then, cherish each and every moment that you have with your child, whether it's in the womb or out the womb. Just cherish each and every second. Have a good day. I'm out.